just Sila was saying to me, she met somebody on the plane who is in charge of Ethiopia, where millions of people are dying. Never before in history death has been so close to so many people and in such a ugly way. Because for 4 years there have been no rain. Before that, for 3 years there have been no rain. So now even a slight moisture from the air has disappeared. People are dying of thirst, people are dying of hunger, and millions of people. And the whole world simply goes on watching football matches, Olympic Games. The man was saying that he is approaching every government, and they all say yes. And no help comes at all. He said that he approaches to small governments, they say we will help, but first America. Because if America cannot afford, then you should not ask us. And the man said to Sila, what America has done, America cannot help Ethiopia because Ethiopian government has added socialism to its name. What socialism when people are simply dying? Whether they are socialist or communist, Hindu, Mohammedan, Christian, does not matter. A man is dying and you are bothering. Are you socialist? Can I give you water or not? I have heard of a Jew who had fallen on a road. It was too hot a day and he was too tired and too miserly. So not getting a taxi, he was just trying to go by foot as far as possible. And he managed far enough, but finally he fell unconscious on the road. People gathered there. A Christian priest, seeing that the man is dying, whispered in his ear, "Remember God the Father, Son Jesus Christ, and Holy Ghost." The Jew opened his eyes towards the crowd and he said, "Take this fool away, I am dying and he is trying to tell me solve puzzles." God the Father, Holy Ghost, Jesus Christ, I am not in a position to solve puzzles right now. I am dying, can't you see? America will not give. The man said to Sila that we had purchased some arms and we had given the advance to America. But now America refuses either to pay the advance back or give the alms, because meanwhile the country has turned socialist. So any arrangements made before the socialist government are no more valid. That government is no more in existence. Perhaps that arrangement may have been made by King Haileslassie, whom the socialists have thrown and taken over the government. And since these idiot socialists have taken over the government, Ethiopia has been in trouble. It has never been in trouble for 40 years while Haileslassie ruled over it. This is strange. That man had a certain wisdom of a very strange kind. But one has to accept that man had a strange wisdom. UNO had sent a delegation to Ethiopia, because in Ethiopia this is a customary thing to drink water collected by the sides of the road in the rain. Now that is contaminated. And the doctors board touring Ethiopia found that 90% of diseases of Ethiopians can disappear if pure water can be made available, which is not very difficult. They told Haileslassie that it is a very simple thing. Pure water has to be made available, and people have to be prevented and taught that they should not drink all kinds of water which has simply gathered in rains by the sides of the rivers, animals moving in them, drinking in them, children taking bath in them, people are drinking the water, and that is the 90% diseases will disappear. Haileslassie listened silently. He said, "Your report is right, your advice is right, but I am not going to do it. Because if I save 90% people, then what I am going to do with the crowd, with the overcrowding? Then are you going to help me? Then who is going to help me? Let nature take its course. You will make us beggars before the world. At least right now we have our dignity. We are not beggars, we are not hungry, we are not starving. What one can do? People understand it. Disease comes, people die. Death is natural. I understand you perfectly, he said. You don't carry the misunderstanding that I have not followed your idea. Your idea is 100% correct. But keep quiet and just go home. Those people reported in all the news media that this man is just mad. We are giving him scientific information. We worked 3 months touring Ethiopia, risking our life. We prepared this whole report, and that man said it is 100% correct, just take it home and rest and forget all about Ethiopia. Everybody thought that this Haileslassie is mad. But even at that time, perhaps I may have been the only one person who spoke for him. And I said, I think he is right. You have to answer his questions. He is right. If 90% dying people are saved, then who is going to provide food and clothes and shelter for them? Ethiopia has no means. It is a poor country. It can support a small population. Then where these doctors are going to bring all the necessities? To save a person is not very difficult. But to keep on living for 70 years is very difficult. But the young people of Ethiopia thought that Haileslassie is mad, that he has gone cynical, he is too old. And of course he has ruled from the First World War. He was perhaps the only ruler who remained ruling in both the wars. But he was not cynical. He was really a very sane man. When revolution took place, I can think only that a very sane man can do that. He came out of the palace and asked the revolutionaries, what do you want to do with me? Don't unnecessarily be destructive. Your problem is me. So what do you want to do with me? They said, you sit down in the car and come with us. He said, that's perfectly okay. He sat down in the car and went with them to the military camp. Never before in the history a revolution has happened so easily. But this was a sane man, really a sane man. He said, why unnecessarily destroy and kill? My people will kill your people will kill my people. Just take me. So every problem is solved. You take over. And since they have taken over, they have taken advices from all kinds of experts and all kinds of doctors, economists, finance experts, and the whole result is there. Ethiopia is dying. And now I say that they should remember what Haileslassie had said, that you can save people, but then it is better to let the nature take its own course. Sometimes these doctors, finance experts look very creative. What they are saying is creative, to save life. And Haileslassie looks very destructive. Let the nature take its course. But when I look closely at both, I think Haileslassie is finally right. And these educated idiots don't know what they are doing. And that's what they have done all over the earth. Now the population is so much, by the end of this century, there will not be space enough to stand. Everything is going to be so crowded and so ugly and so dirty and so sick. And it has already started happening. This man told Srila that he asked Soviet Union to help. They say we are willing, but then we want entry. Our armies will be there. And that is certain. If Soviet Russia enters with his armies to help, America will be immediately ready to enter with his armies to help. But this is not help. This is worse kind of exploitation. They are dying and you are bargaining that let our armies enter and we can help. One does not know what help they will do. One thing is certain, that their armies will never come back out. These are the leaders.